Hello, and welcome to court. Let's fucking go. Yeah, let's save this fucking whale. First, I'm gonna grab another Coke Zero. Time to continue defending this orca. Hmm? Who's streaming in my Discord? Oh yeah, Kiwi's been streaming in the VC recently. Well, anyway, hold on. Yeah, a little drowsy today because I fucking stayed up with Shark until 5 in the morning. Oh, hey, Tina. Hey. Adam and Tora. Niv knows who Adam and Tora are. That's fun. Although Adam and Tora were not in my stream, a Niv. That'd be cool, but Adam don't have time for that. The killer whale's behavior was exactly the same as a year ago. As I approached the pool, the killer whale suddenly started singing. I was calm when I saw it start to headbutt, but when the pirate hat and the victim came floating up, I let out a scream. Hold on. Just rearranging the chat on my screen. If you guys want like a behind the scenes look, wait, that's not it. Oh. This is my stream setup. I have to have like pop-out chat in specific places. So yeah, this is the right monitor. This is your first time. Well, probably not your first time seeing it, but yeah. So the orca displayed the same behavior as during the incident a year ago. That's right. Those weren't just simple cries, it was singing. As I approached the pool, the killer whale suddenly started singing. It kept headbutting while it sang the swashbuckler spectacular song. That's right, it was singing the same song it sang in the aquarium stage show back then. It was singing while it was headbutting. Oh, it was perfectly horrible. I don't see a single obvious inconsistency in this testimony. It's clear I won't be able to take apart her statements with evidence alone. Mr. Wright, now would be a good time for me to put my skills to work. It's time to show what analytical psychology can really do. You seem pretty confident. Let me guess, you noticed a contradiction between the testimony and her emotions. You bet I did, and once we expose it, we just might be able to crack her. No, scratch that. Make it, we'll definitely be able to. Now let's give your knowledge of analytical psychology a try. You got it, boss. A complete analysis of Miss De Plume's heart, coming right up. So, what do you think is more technologically unfeasible? Athena's mood matrix or Kay Faraday's little thief tool? The killer whale's behavior was exactly the same as a year ago. Yes. Hello, Ringo Shala. As I approached the pool, the killer whale suddenly started singing. She is surprised at that. I was calm when I saw it start to headbutt. Shock and distress. Seems like you weren't calm, actually. But when the pirate hat and victim came floating up, I let out a scream. Less distress here than in the previous screen. Interesting.
Got it.
Miss De Plume, Orla really frightened you with her headbutting, didn't she? Ringo? Sure. Don't be absurd. I certainly was not frightened by the likes of any killer whale. Although it's very possible I'll forget about that. I was certainly not frightened by the likes of any killer whale. It must have been something else that scared her than boss. Are you playing as Phoenix now? Well, yeah, the game switches perspectives between, Phoenix, Athena, and Apollo regularly. However, I do remember being very afraid for some reason while I was doing that. Sounds like maybe you saw something we haven't discussed yet. Take your time and try to remember what it was. What did you see? This is practically turning into a counseling session. I saw something? Oh. Ah! I remember now. Okay, good. Now if you could please tell the court what you saw. I saw bright red blood. The killer whale's ramming caused the victim to bleed. There was a great cloud of blood. Or was there? Perhaps there was no blood. Maybe it's like the fucking Tenma Town thing. Or not Tenma Town, Ninetales Vale thing. Where Damien Tenma thought he saw the amazing Ninetales in a red cape, but it was actually like a dead person behind him. Can we talk about how much of a fucking Chad Damien Tenma is? Dude's like, what do I pick for a wrestling name? Oh, I know. Fucking a Kitsune. That is sick, dude. What? Yes, that's it. That's why I was so sure. That's when I knew that killer whale had killed a person for a second time. Well, that was a very compelling statement indeed. Looking at this again, there does appear to be something that could be a cloud of blood. So her terror was a reaction to blood, was it? That would certainly explain what happened yesterday. Please take a look at this blood-stained coin. Eek! Cease and desist at once. What kind of man shows a lady blood? Ah, she has fucking hemophobia. She doesn't have to get so worked up. I was badly injured during an interview once. Ever since then, I've been terrified of blood. The very sight of it dreadfully upsets my delicate sensibilities. So I'm gonna go ahead and assume she's not the killer. I feel most people scared of blood don't commit murder. This is a bad turn. If Miss De Plume saw blood, then does that mean that Orla really did attack the victim? It would appear that orcas are even more vicious than I am. So, how does it feel to be thoroughly rammed by your own cross-examination, right, Dono? Hello, November. Good to see you. What do we do, boss? Yeah, I'll show you what it's like to be thoroughly rammed, Simon. Ugh, that testimony was not at all what I expected to hear. Hello, Jimmy Davis. Wait a minute. There's still some discord left in Miss De Plume's heart. What? You mean there's more? Yes, but there's no telling what it is. It could be something even more damaging. Oh, wow, that's... I feel really bad for your brother, Electrica. Do you want me to spam cheese in chat? I would rather you didn't spam anything. I wrote a character with a blood fear once. Ugh, is there even anything left to our case to damage? Well, whatever it is, we have to face it head on. Athena, you believe in Orla, right? If so, there's no reason for us to shy away from the truth. Yeah, you're right. I know we can handle the truth, whatever it is, so let's delve a little deeper. You've got it, boss. The killer's whale's behavior was exactly the same as a year ago. As I approached the pool, the killer whale suddenly started singing. After it started headbutting, I saw that awful blood and was terrified. But when the pirate hat and victim came floating up, I let out a scream. Yeah, it's weird that there's less distress when she sees the corpse. Got it. Bye. Okay, later. Huh? Her fear appears to lessen here at this statement. Miss De Plume, weren't you afraid when you saw the victim with blood coming out of him? My, that's a very good question. I was shaken after witnessing a murder, yes, but then the blood seemed to disappear. Disappear? What do you suppose that was? Simple. It was because of the pirate hat. After the killer whale put the hat on, the cloud of blood disappeared. Objection! What, it hid the blood under its hat? How exactly does that work? How should I know? I'm just telling you what I remember, Blue Boy. Wait a minute. From whom was that blood that Miss De Plume saw actually coming from? Well, if it wasn't the victim, I feel like the orca might have been bleeding? It's possible that there was blood inside its, like, blowhole or something. Take that! Consider this. Maybe the one who was bleeding wasn't the victim. I beg your pardon? What kind of ridiculous nonsense is that? There was no one else in that pool beside the victim. Oh, I wouldn't say there was no one else. It is an orca pool, after all. What? Then what is this alleged injury on the defendant? I'm not sure, but if simply wearing the pirate hat made the blood disappear... Oh, the pirate hat blocked the blowhole. Then the blood must have been coming from somewhere on Orla's head. Okay, I was right the first time. I wondered if the blood was coming out of the blowhole. Yeah, putting the hat on, I guess, would block the blood. But I'm assuming the orca wasn't actually injured. The blood was just in its blowhole for some reason. What? The orca's head. What are you prattling on about now? Please think about it again, Miss De Plume. Think back to what you really saw. That is... The one who was bleeding was not the victim, but the killer whale? I remember now. There wasn't any blood coming from the victim after all. We did it! Analytical psychology got us what we needed from her. That was a huge help, Athena. It was also pretty dicey for a while, though. Well, this sure is a surprise. The blood the witness saw was the defendant's, not the victim's. That is correct. And since there was no blood coming from the victim, there's only one thing we can conclude. That what Miss De Plume witnessed was not the moment of the murder, as she claims. Yeah, I think the defendant was already... Or not the defendant. The victim was probably already dead. I thought you were unarmed, but it turns out you were concealing a sword all along. Nevertheless, it is far too dull to cut to the bone. Meaning? I grant that what the witness saw was not the victim's blood, but it proves nothing. After all, being rammed doesn't always result in a wound that bleeds, does it? Death from internal hemorrhaging is also a possibility. He has a point there. Okay, but did he didn't die from internal hemorrhaging, did he? He died from a brain contusion. If you wish to challenge me to a duel, you'll need a sharper blade than that, right, Dono? I demand evidence that proves the witness did not see the moment of the murder. Do I have any evidence like that? Contusion from head trauma. Hey nerd. Bruised all over the body. Death thought to be the result of orca attack. Estimated time of death under investigation. Maybe the coin will be proof of that? Oh, there must be something. Think, Phoenix. If I'm correct, then the victim's death occurred. If The victim was already dead and Orla started her headbutting. And that would mean he died sometime before Miss De Plume was watching her. The event Miss De Plume witnessed took place at around 10:10 a.m. I must have something that can tell us about what happened before 10:10 a.m.
Take that!
It's not taking the coin. I guess I'm wrong then. What happened before 10:10 a.m.? No proper time of death on the autopsy report. Video performance. Can this be fast forwarded? No, I guess not. Rhymes ran into Pearl at 10:10, but that kind of seems irrelevant. I don't know. The only thing I can think of is the calendar.
Take that!
Guess not. I wonder. His radio is missing. That's interesting. Wonder where it went. Maybe it has to do with the fact that Pearl was there? I don't know. "10:09. 10:10. Is this it?
Take that!
Okay, that's it. We've only seen the footage from 10:09 to 10:10 a.m., which means there's still footage going further back that we need to check. Oh, it's this again. Alright. This is kinda the same issue I had with, the last case. Do you guys remember when, like, there was, like, footage of the Phantom at a certain time, but just nobody thought to check? And how badly I got stuck there? Yeah, that just kind of feels like that again. I should probably be prepared for that kind of nonsense when it comes to, like, video evidence in an Ace Attorney case. Your Honor, I request that all of the security footage be played for the court. All of the footage. Miss De Plume witnessed the cloud of blood at around 10:10 a.m. But I believe the victim was already dead by that time. So your assertion is that the murder took place before Miss De Plume arrived. Exactly. The security camera footage starts at 10 a.m. when the aquarium opened. And I believe there's vital evidence in the 10 minutes before. You are quite the gambling man, right, Dono? Are you honestly willing to risk everything on those mere 10 minutes? I've been on slimmer chances before, but when he puts it that way...
Hold it!
My boss is no coward, Prosecutor Blackwell, so I suggest you get ready to eat humble pie. Uh-oh, I can't back down now. Yeah, exactly, Dangster. It's frustrating that this happened twice in the same game. Well, if the defense is that confident in its importance, Prosecutor Blackwell, the security footage. Fulbright. Roger, I have the rest of the security footage right here. Very well, please play it for the court. Please, please have something for me. This is what it looked like at 10:10 a.m. The witness can be seen here. Alright, I'll just back the footage up to the beginning now. It appears Miss De Plume hasn't arrived yet at this point. Let's see if I can find something from before this point in time. Watch the frame before it just be the captain's, like, fucking corpse floating down. Is that it? Yep, that's all the footage there is. Well, Mr. Wright, did you see what you were looking for? We got nothing. Well, right down here. Those were the 10 minutes you placed your bet on. Did you see anything of significance? Did I see anything important? I better think about this carefully. In the footage, we see... I guess it's a 50-50 shot. Let me try nothing important and see what happens. We can see nothing of importance in that footage. Maybe that's the point. Just as I thought. You're right about that. That section was completely meaningless. It doesn't show a thing. That's why I didn't submit it as evidence.
Objection!
No, it's just the opposite. Yeah, I figured he was gonna pull something like this. Huh? What do you mean by that? In this 10 minutes of footage, something important that should be there isn't there. Detective Fulbright, this footage should have been submitted as evidence. What? Are you questioning the way I carry out my duty to justice? Mr. Wright, explain yourself, please. What is the important thing that you say should be in this footage, but isn't? I mean, we didn't see the victim's body.
Take that!
The important thing we should see in the footage is the victim himself, Jack Shipley. I don't know about you, but I didn't see him get in the pool in that footage. Oh. That's right. If the victim is not shown entering the pool in this footage, it means that he must have been there by the skull rock during those 10 minutes. But no human being can hold their breath underwater for that long. Wait a minute. Are you saying... When the security camera started up at 10 a.m., the victim was already dead. What? Order in the court. If that's the case, then when was the victim murdered? I don't know, Your Honor, but we now know it had to have been sometime before 10 a.m. Therefore, this footage can no longer be called decisive evidence against my client. But there's no one else who could have killed the victim. Not necessarily. The defense believes that the true culprit may have been human. And we have evidence to back up our theory as well. Do you now? I would be very interested in seeing this evidence. It's probably the gold coin. Defense's trump card, the thing that we found during our investigation yesterday. I wouldn't go so far as to call it decisive, but now's the time to play it. Very well, Mr. Wright, please submit your evidence. What evidence shows that the crime may have been committed by a human?
Take that!
What's this? A coin? Yes, a fake coin used in the aquarium's pirate show. We found it beside the pool. Kind of an intricate design on the coin, considering that, like, nobody in the audience is gonna be close enough to make out what the coins say. This coin is quite possibly the real murder weapon. This tiny little coin is the murder weapon? Mr. Wright, is this another one of your bluffs? As they say, the bolder the presentation, the less confident the solicitor. This is no bluff, and this isn't the only coin. There are 300 of these coins in all, weighing a total of about 7 pounds. This one just happens to have blood on it. Did you have the blood analyzed to see whose it is? Not yet. I don't have a forensic lab at my fucking office, Simon. Moron. Hold on. Yeah. Alright, Nerdrotic video is live. 500 views in 15 minutes. Ooh, this'll be a big one. Let's read some comments, why don't we? Not yet. But there were coins scattered all around the body, and the victim had a head wound. Taking these things into account, I believe it has to be the victim's blood. So, to put it together, we have about 7 pounds of coins by the side of the pool. One of them with a blood stain on it. I think the answer is pretty clear here. Your Honor, the defense proposes that the victim was killed beside the pool. Beside of the pool? But if the murder took place there, it would be difficult to say the orca did it. I realize you are trying to defend your client, but that theory is preposterous. How could 300 coins possibly be made to hit someone all at once? A bag! It'd be pretty easy if they were in a bag, or something of that nature. And so, where is this bag the coins were in? Unfortunately, Your Honor, we recovered nothing of the sort from the scene. It's possible the culprit took it with them. They took it? The true culprit used the coins as a blunt instrument to commit murder. Apparently a coin gun exists in this universe. Hey Axe, good to see you. Then they threw the body into the pool before the security cameras started up. I mean, you probably couldn't load a coin into a blunderbuss and have it work. Like, if you had like a blunderbuss, and like, you could probably use coins as ammo and it would like, definitely kill someone. Although, I think most pirates wouldn't put fucking gold coins in their fucking blunderbusses. That would be wasteful and stupid. When the blunderbuss will literally accept, like, any fucking garbage you have on hand. That was the funny thing about the blunderbuss. It kinda just fired garbage. That was, like, one of the earliest guns. What ammo does this take? Trash. This is a trash gun. Hold on. I might take a nap later. We'll see. I can hold out a little longer though. And then they left, taking the bag the coins were in with them. They got rid of the evidence that points to a human culprit to pin the blame on Orla. That was brilliant, Mr. Wright. You found a way to introduce the possibility of a human perpetrator. Yeah, somehow. Let's hope my luck holds out. I wonder why Prosecutor Blackwell hasn't said anything. So it was definitely not her. She loves that fucking whale. I don't think Norma de Plume was the killer. Marlon Rhymes, not impossible. But the thing is, we still haven't met Mr. Crab. Or Dr. Crab, I mean. The penguin is an option. Yeah, I'm guessing the killer is either Marlon Rhymes or Dr. Crab. The possibility of a perpetrator other than the defendant has now been suggested. But if we hold this possibility to be true, then what did Miss de Plume witness? Pearl did it? Yeah. Yeah, she just bought some coins from a gift shop and accidentally hit the dude on the head. And he just fell into the fucking pool. That's right. I saw the killer whale attack the victim. Just like it did a year ago, singing a song. I guess there still is that. Even if somebody else is the culprit, Orla's behavior seems pretty bizarre. I wonder why she was doing the same thing she did a year ago. But is it really that bizarre? What do you mean? To explain the inexplicable, all we have to do is turn our thinking around. Turn our thinking around, huh? Sounds good to me. Time to give the old... Alright. Time to give the old turn my thinking around method a try. Instead of trying to figure out why Orla did the same thing she did a year ago, I should consider the results that were produced by her behavior around this time. Orla sang a song, did some headbutts, and bit the victim. Sang a song, did headbutts, and bit the victim. It's possible that she was signaled to do all that. Right now, Marlin's the most suspicious, because I think he might know how the whistles work. Since he works there. But, who knows? I don't know for sure yet. The real corporate wanted to shift the suspicion onto Orla. Then they would have needed to give people a reason to think Orla did it in the first place. I want to meet Dr. Crab and see what he's like. I'm curious about that. Mr. Wright, as our lawyer, how do you explain your client's actions? I believe we should think of it in this way, Your Honor. What kind of effect did Orla's actions have on the case? Very well. Then why don't you explain it for the court? How did the defendant's actions affect the case? I mean, it did create a witness. Miss Day Plume focused her attention on the orca pool because she heard the song. The orca's act of singing a song created a witness. Created a witness? Isn't it possible that fabricating a witness was the real culprit's true intentions? After all, Miss Day Plume witnessed two things. She saw Orla headbutt something over and over, and she saw the orca bite the victim. Those two actions of Orla's might have been the real culprit's plot to make the witness think the orca was attacking the victim. Are you saying that the defendant was being manipulated by the true perpetrator? Exactly, and that would explain Orla's actions perfectly. But the defendant is an orca. Is it even possible to manipulate her? Yes, there is a way to manipulate Orla's behavior with this. Wow, Judge, it's almost like orcas are used in sea shows all the time and can be taught tricks. Have you, like, literally never seen that before, ever?
Take that!
This is a whistle? Yes, Your Honor. Trainers at the aquarium use whistles to issue commands to Orla. Hey, Das, good to see you. But in truth, anyone can do it, provided they know the right signals. Ah, that must be how they get Orla to do tricks for their pirate shows. Then again, he doesn't even know what a circus is. Does he not? Did he have a line in, like, Turnabout Big Top where he wasn't sure what a circus was? I don't even remember that. That would be funny if he said that, because everyone knows what a circus is. The true culprit hid the body in a spot that couldn't be seen from the visitor's corridor. Then, when Miss Day Plume appeared, they gave Orla the commands. In other words, Orla was manipulated by the culprit to perform a series of tricks. What? And as for you, Miss Day Plume, you were manipulated by the true culprit to play the part of the witness. Norma de Plume, was set up? Norma de Plume, writer extraordinaire, was used? No. No! That was a weird excuse for a breakdown. Miss Day Plume, please do something about your attire. That was one wardrobe malfunction I did not want to see. Jesus Christ, they're going hard on the fat shaming in this case, huh? Mother of God. It would appear we need to shift our suspicion towards someone other than Orla. Prosecutor Blackwell, please have the bloodstained coin analyzed. You waste your breath. I guess even Prosecutor Blackwell can't refute the possibility of a human suspect. You did it, boss! If the crime happened beside the pool, there's no way an orca could have done it. Now, if only we could find the bag the coins were in. In light of the new discovery, it would appear that the orca couldn't have done it. Exactly, Your Honor. If the blood on the coin proves to be that of the victim, we can unequivocally overturn Orla's accusation.
Objection!
Uh-oh. And there we go. Overturn the defendant's accusation. I think not. Ah! My hair! My beautiful hair! Yesterday, a new inmate was brought into the prison. He said, the moment you relax is when you're most vulnerable. I like that the judge is not freaking out that Simon got out of his cuffs again. He's just fucking used to it by this point, I guess. Like, oh, Simon broke out of his shackles again. And what did this man go in for? See? He doesn't care anymore. Simon breaking his shackles and assaulting the defense is just so common, he can't even bring himself to care. He is merely a sneaky thief who enjoys a spot of fishing now and again. Also, if Simon actually has a sword, it must be longer than Sephiroth's if it can reach the witness stand and the defense stand from the prosecutor's stand. He's merely a sneaky thief who enjoys a spot of fishing now and again. But right dono here would be easier to hook than any fish. That hawk sure does love the judge's head. It probably thinks the judge's head is a rock, let's be real. What's the... Oh! Simon had the bag the whole time? Isn't that hiding evidence? Simon, what the fuck? What's this? That coin from before in some sort of bag? A bag? I don't think I'm gonna like this. This is the coin bag the 300 coins were in. I believe you were looking for this? How did you get that? I never said we didn't find it at the crime scene. The bag had blood on it, so naturally I had it sent to the crime lab. And? Does the blood belong to the victim? It does indeed, as does the blood on the coin. I knew it, so the blood on the coin did belong to the victim. But Simon looks very smug, so I think he's gonna have something else to say. The bag was open and the coins had all spilled out. But the bag alone wasn't proof enough to say that it was used as the murder weapon. However, thanks to the defense and their coin, I am more than satisfied that it was. Prosecutor Blackwell, are you conceding that the true culprit committed the murder with the bag of coins? I shall concede that the victim was put into the pool after his death. However, even with the bag, it doesn't change the fact it was the orca that killed the victim. Yeah, that's a good point. It's possible that the victim was knocked unconscious and then fell into the pool and was attacked by the orca. Although the autopsy says instant death. I'm not sure it really matters what the orca does with him after that point. Like, he's definitely already dead in the footage. Like, he had to have been dead for a while. Like, at least 10 minutes before this. You said the true culprit manipulated Orla's behavior. But Orla isn't the kind of orca that would let someone control her. Like, they literally use her in a show, dude. If anything, Orla used the victim's behavior against him to murder him. What? But... Are you arguing that the orca manipulated a human being? To prove it, I have summoned another witness. Marlon Rhymes. Take the stand. Marlon Rhymes is a witness? Well, don't just stand there. State your name. I told you I didn't want to be a witness. I thought one witness would be quite enough to prove the defendant's guilt. But apparently Right Dono won't be satisfied until every stone is turned. Well, son of a... Alright, fine. If I gotta talk, then let's get this over with. Mr. Rhymes doesn't seem like a willing witness. I wonder what Prosecutor Blackwell's going to have him testify about. So could we have your name and occupation for the record, witness? Don't rap it. Ahoy! Yo! Yo! Yo ho ho! People of the law, time to testify. Chilling with my crew with the ship shape. Orcas, penguins, and the seascape. Cleaning and feeding, there ain't no end. But them bratty kids' tours, I shall transcend. Noob Animal Keeper, from the House of Rhymes. I'm the Master Keeper, Marlon with the rhymes. This is a courtroom. Stop rapping. Oh my, I'm afraid I couldn't understand a word you said. Is that flip-flop music young people nowadays like? So close, Your Honor. So close, and yet so far. Please proceed with your testimony, witness, without the flip-flop. Killer Bee vibes? Oh god, I forgot about that character. Okay, fine. But I don't want to do this, I tell you. I feel like I'm selling Sasha out. Wait, he has the bucket of chum with him. At about 10:10 a.m., I was in the staff room. I heard a loud noise from the pool room. So I went to the door to look in. I couldn't see the captain of the orca, but I saw a bunch of coins scattered around. The orca knows there's a certain spot people stand to play volleyball with her. I think maybe she knocked down the stuff that was piled up there and hit the captain. So that gives us a little more info about the area around the orca pool. So I guess Marlon believes that his death could have been an accident? The defendant made the stuff fall down. Overturned crates and assorted props were scattered all over the pool room floor. There is no doubt that it was the orca that caused the mess. But could she really have done that from within the pool? As I said, the orca is the only one that could have performed such a feat. The pool and its room were tidied the night before, including its various odds and ends. But when our rhyming Marlin took a look-see, over 400 pounds of props had fallen. To move it all in one go would challenge even the brawny prisoner in the cell next to mine. What is he, the jail gossip? I guess so. So, how did 400 pounds of items fall at once? I'll tell you how. The orca pulled on the cloth that was underneath them. A weight that would be all but impossible for a human to move. The bag looks flat. The bag looks fucking flat from this angle. Was child's play to an orca. And he's a master baiter. Ha ha. Ha ha. You're very funny, Electrica. During a friendly game of volleyball, the defendant made the crates fall. And the bag of coins that was among the items fell on the victim's head and killed him. The orca then toyed with the victim's body underwater, which is what Miss Day Plume saw.
Objection!
But the witness only said he heard a loud noise. That doesn't automatically make it the sound of Orla making the items fall. Also, why did you only look in on the pool room anyway, Mr. Rhymes? That orca sometimes makes a loud noise to summon her trainer. But I'm still a newbie, so I don't have a security card to get into the pool room yet. So even if she tries to summon somebody, there isn't much I can do about it. I see, so the witness couldn't enter the crime scene.
Objection!
If Mr. Rhymes couldn't enter the room, there's at least one thing he can't be sure about. His statement that the orca was playing volleyball is purely speculation.
Silence!
Yeah, Terraria has a golden shower spellbook. The humor of that game is pretty immature at the end of the day. Whether the orca was actually playing volleyball or not is not the issue. Traces of the orca's saliva were found on the cloth that was underneath the crates. The important point is that the orca is the only one who could have moved the items. Yeah, there's an enemy called Morning Wood in the fucking Halloween event. Which, let me tell ya, that Halloween event, great for grinding money. Holy fuck. I have to discredit that statement somehow. If I don't, it'd mean that Orla was the culprit, and even if the victim died beside the pool. About 10:10, at about 10:10 a.m., I was in the staff room.
Hold it!
Are you sure about the time you were in the staff room? What? Yes, I'm sure. I'm pretty good with time. I've never been late to work once. I'm gonna break the recording real quick. If he's sure about the time, then there's something wrong with that statement. I better take another look through the court record. Alright, please continue with your testimony, Mr. Rhymes. Hold on, I need to read this text again. Are you sure about the time you're in the staff room? Yes, I'm sure. I'm pretty good with time. I've never been late to work once. Something's wrong with that statement. At about 10:10 a.m., I was in the staff room. He wasn't, though. He ran into Pearl.
Objection!
You say you're in the staff room, but is that really true? Of course it's true. Why would I lie about a thing like that? Mr. Rhymes, have you ever seen this calendar before? Hey, that's... I see you recognize it. Yeah, it's the rifle calendar. It's a big hit at the Shipshape Aquarium gift shop. Thank you for shopping at Shipshape. No, what are you doing? You're getting minnows all over the courtroom. Stop! Stop making a mess! Marlon, no! Marlon! You're gonna... The courtroom's gonna smell so bad now! Mr. Rhymes, please refrain from scattering fish around the witness stand. Not to worry, your boldness. Taka will have them cleaned up in no time. I guess that bird comes in handy now and then. Oh, Taka's gonna have a fucking feast tonight, I guess. Fun fact, my year 1 and 2 classroom had a freeze chest full of fish in it. A freeze chest? Is that like another term for a freezer? We had to run out of the classroom whenever we left because of how much it stank. You want to talk about stink? High school, I'll tell you about that real quick. Because there was always one time a year in high school where, like, the kids studying biology, or it might have been forensics, I don't know. They would always have an assignment where they dissected pigs, which, you know, animal dissection for uh school is not that uncommon. Like, the stereotype is cutting open frogs or whatever, right? Um, well, they kind of have to keep the pigs preserved, and the chemical that they preserve the pigs with is formaldehyde. And I remember when it was like that time of the year when they were working on the pigs, it stank up the whole school. Formaldehyde smells awful. I still remember the fucking stench of that shit. It's nasty, dude. Like, it fucking reeked in that school whenever, like, the biology kids were doing pig dissections. It was awful. Alright, Mr. Wright, we've all seen your cute souvenir. Now, if you wouldn't mind. No, Your Honor, this isn't my calendar. It was originally the witness's, but it came into the possession of a certain young lady. What? I think we dissected a frog. I have never been in a class where I had to dissect an animal. Which I'm good with. I think I probably could dissect an animal, but I don't think it's something I'd want to do, you know? Like, I could probably do it without throwing up, but, like, I don't want to look at an animal's organs, you know? It's fucking weird. 1,500 views in 45 minutes. We are going somewhere. Top comment. These anti-SJWs are becoming more of a joke than the actual SJWs. I like all the comments saying that there's gonna be an EFAP episode. Later, Das. It's so funny. Like, EFAP, because these comments were also on, like, the heel versus babyface video, which is so funny. Like, EFAP hangs out with so many of these fucking idiot losers. Like, I don't know if I can believe Mahler when he says he's, like, a moderate, when he hangs out with all of these fucking idiots. Mr. Rhymes and this young lady first met each other in the food prep room. After a mishap, their calendars got switched around. Wonder what this is. Is that for, like, weighing sea animals or something? It has wheels. Must be a transportation thing. I wonder. I don't think it's relevant to the case. I'm just kind of curious. Yeah, it kind of looks like a cart, but there's a weird thing on it. I think that thing weighs penguins. That would make sense. Yeah, it could be an animal weight thing. Oh well. After a mishap, their calendars got switched around. Why was Pearl in the fucking kitchen? They ran into each other at about 10:10 a.m. in the food prep room. So clearly the witness was not in the staff room. In other words, there's no way he could have heard the noise in the pool room upstairs. Arr! What's this? This is the first I'm hearing about any calendar. That's because Mr. Rhymes and Pearls were keeping it a secret. You lied to me? You lied to me? This transgression will not go unpunished. Arr! Pearl got lost. Yeah, I guess she did, but I feel like you kind of have to intentionally wander into an employees only area. Unless maybe she still can't read. So, Mr. Rhymes, you didn't hear the noise of the equipment falling after all, did you? Okay, I admit it. I didn't hear the noise in the Orca pool room myself. Hold on. But somebody told me about it. Who told you about it? It was, unless you tell the truth, Mr. Rhymes, I can't save Orla. And I'm sure you know how sad that would make Miss Buckler. Oh no. Okay. So I guess Pearl literally said... Depiction. Pearl Faye. I heard about it from Sasha. What? From Miss Buckler? But that doesn't make sense. What is going on here? He might be lying. She asked to be in a high school? Well, maybe education has taken a nosedive. Now it's the trainer's own words that drive the Orca into a corner. How do you like being bitten by your own client right there now? I do like that Pearl doesn't like misunderstand pronunciations anymore. We have seen that she's become more literate. That's actually something I kind of like in character development, because I remember I thought it was kind of cool in Stranger Things how, like, 11 in Season 1 talked very awkwardly. But, like, as the seasons went on, she slowly gets more articulate, until she's basically talking like everybody else. I always think that kind of thing is cool. I love, like, slow character transformations like that. Ugh, I certainly didn't see this coming. What perfect timing. There was something I wanted to ask Miss Buckler about the Orca. Bella Baxter, too. Yeah, there's something that fascinates me about, like, people growing up. Like, it's always kind of cool when someone introduces a child character in one story, and then, like, in a sequel or later in the story, that child character is, like, older and has changed. I always find that kind of thing super cool. Because human beings just change so much throughout the years. And puberty is, like, always a huge turning point for human beings. What perfect timing. There was something I wanted to ask Miss Buckler about the orca. The prosecution calls the trainer, Miss Sasha Buckler, to the stand. Yes, I suppose it would be a good idea to hear what the orca's trainer has to say. I don't know what Sasha is going to say, but I'll just have to meet it head-on, whatever it is. We will take a 20-minute recess while the witness is summoned. Can we quick talk about the fact that Simon is a more pleasant person than his sister? Like, think about that. Aura Blackwill is more unlikable than Simon. Simon attacks people and is a psychological manipulator. Mr. Wright, are you going to cross-examine Sasha? Yeah, we barely cross-examined Rhymes. I guess I'll have to ask her about the noise from the stuff falling down. Mr. Wright. Mr. Rhymes, why did you lie? I didn't want Sasha to have to appear in court. I thought if anybody had to testify, I should be the one to do it for her. But why would you go to all those lengths? He wants to bang her. Did you see the entry for the 20th on that calendar? The note about meeting the captain at the Orca pool? Yeah, I found that calendar in the nap room. I think it's probably Sasha's. Oh, that's a twist. So it might not even be his calendar. What? Then that means... I guess it does look like more of a woman's calendar than a man's. I didn't want suspicion to fall on Sasha. Mr. Wright, I gotta go back to the aquarium to look after the orca in Sasha's place. I'll be rooting for you on the other end of that TV phone. Please, take care of Sasha. Okay, we can't let Prosecutor Blackwill get the best of us. Time to refocus. You're right. After all, we're the only ones who can save Orla. I'm a man, and I want that. Well, again, this is a Japanese game. And if you, like, step outside the bounds of, like, actual masculinity, you're just gonna get treated like a freak by Japanese developers, as evidenced by characters like fucking Jean Armstrong or Florent Labelle. Like, any feminine male just gets depicted ridiculously. Yeah, it's really unfortunate, but yeah. Japan does have a highly patriarchal structure. The court will now reconvene. Prosecutor Blackwill, please call the witness to the stand. Again, you waste your breath. Me name be Sasha, and I be one of Captain Orla's swashbucklers. I don't like that sword. That sword handle is stupid. That looks dumb. You don't look like a mighty pirate, you look like an idiot. There are a lot of lesbian anime. It's kind of the same thing with America, too, because lesbians are way more marketable because there's a good, like, demographic of straight dudes who, like, get real hot under the collar when they see two girls making out. I'd come to rescue me bucko from the false charges put on her by Dread Pirate No Stash. No Stash. I guess No Stash refers to Prosecutor Blackwell this time. Well, it can't be the judge. He has a mustache and a full beard. Now then, Captain Judge, shall we begin the pirate court? Captain Judge? I rather like that. Makes me feel like a salty old sea dog. And scene. How was that for a self-intro? The court is not a show. State your full name and occupation. I'm Sasha Buckler. I work at Shipshape Aquarium. I perform in our Swashbuckler Spectacular Pirate Show alongside Orla as her trainer. Hold on, I'm gonna reheat some pizza. I'm kinda hungry. Pizza time. It's a cool... Let's get back to the game for a bit. There's something so weird about her mouth. Oh god, Das, what the fuck is that? Das! Go back to work! Stop terrorizing us with your poo emote. I perform in our swashbuckler spectacular pirate show alongside Orla as her trainer. Well, you seem like a completely different person now. You really think so? Thanks. I was in my pirate show persona just then. Pulls out a gun and just shoots herself. Fucking summons her persona. Prosecutor Blackwell said I could introduce myself any way I like. Really? Why not just really? Because she likes her fish puns. And real is more of a fishing pun than a fish pun. Either way, I don't like it. It's like MOBA level shit. I'd bet money he didn't think you were going to do it like that. And what will this witness testify about? Yorka manipulated the victim into playing volleyball and then knocked the items down. The witness will report about hearing the noise that caused the victim's death. Now wait a minute. Sure, Orla uses the ball to break props sometimes. She even spiked the ball at the giant octopus's leg yesterday when I was cleaning. Ah, I wondered if she broke that leg. Yeah, that would have been it. So she confirmed what I thought. I wonder if that leg will come back. But she couldn't have knocked down that huge stack of equipment with her little ball. I thought you were paying attention to the trial over the telecast. But you apparently know nothing of what we have been discussing. That voice was a little too Edgeworth. Sorry. Yorka knocked down the equipment by pulling on the cloth that was underneath it. Ace Attorney writers when making Sasha's dialogue. No one said anything about the orca knocking it down with a ball. What? Is that what we're talking about? Oh, that's funny. It's not a real sword, it like goes in. That's pretty funny. I came in here to give Prosecutor No Stash a good keel hauling. With a fake sword. But I'm the one getting the cat of nine tails. Ooh, he's as vicious as a tiger shark. Miss Buckler, just focus on your testimony and you'll be alright. Don't worry, we'll take care of that tiger shark for you. What are you doing? Thank you, Athena. Okay, I can do this. My testimony will be phenomenal. Fuck you. Alright, Miss Buckler, please proceed with your testimony. I admit I heard Orla summoning me with a loud noise. But the aquarium guest's scream I heard over the walkie-talkie was more urgent. I talked to Norma de Plume first, and then went to the pool room with the security guard. The equipment was everywhere, and the captain was lying in the middle of it all. Her story doesn't seem to be much different from Marlon Rhymes' testimony. Or does it? The circumstances are different. The actual order of Orla's actions depend on the order the witness heard the two noises. If she heard the scream first, the prosecution's claims don't stand up.
Objection!
Unfortunately for you, she doesn't remember the order of what she heard. She doesn't? I was distracted at the time, so I don't really recall which one I heard first. I was lost in thought until the guard brought me back to myself. Sorry, I'm no help. Oh god, that would be me on a fucking witness stand. I wouldn't remember shit. I have the worst memory. As long as the order remains unclear, I shall not alter the prosecution's claims. After killing the victim with the bag of coins, the orca toyed with the body in the water. I have to turn things around here somehow. Unless I can prove the sound Sasha heard was not the sound of the victim's murder. Blackwell's claim that Orla pulled down the equipment to kill the victim will stand. If I want to save Orla, I have to find a contradiction, no matter how small. Very well. Your cross-examination, please, Mr. Wright. I admit I heard Orla summoning me with a loud noise.
Hold it!
What made you think Orla was summoning you? Orla knows the sound of her cries doesn't carry far enough. So sometimes she summons people by making a loud noise. That Orla is smarter than the average whale, I tell you. Taka would not be bested in a battle of wits.
Hold it!
Wait a minute, Widget is the smartest one of all. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the smartest one of all? Widget! That's, like, the longest line of dialogue Widget has ever had. Am I expected to enter Trucy into this my kid is better than yours of Palooza? And did you heed the summons of this very intelligent Orla immediately? I couldn't right away, although I was concerned about her, of course. But the aquarium guest's scream I heard over the walkie-talkie was more urgent.
Hold it!
You heard Miss Desplume's scream. That's right, I heard her through the walkie-talkie of a guard making his rounds. Ah! I can still hear it in my head. It was so loud, I thought it was a sea lion. Miss Desplume sort of reminds me of a sea lion, actually. I know, right? Ooh, I should call her Sea Lion Lady and see how she likes it. I guess Athena is still upset about being called Yellow Girl. What did you do after hearing the visitors scream? I talked to Norma Desplume first, and then went to the pool room with the security guard.
Hold it!
Yeah, I don't really like her character design very much. I think they really missed the mark with this character. You and the security guard headed to the Orca pool room. Yeah, she just won't stop wearing the same clothes, Athena. Yeah, apparently that obnoxious writer lady said she didn't trust me by myself. That's why after talking to her, the guard and I went to the pool room together. Why be the wench so suspicious? Arr, I demand a swordfish duel. That's what I felt like saying to her anyway. I'm afraid I don't get it. That was a line from the show, when Orla and Sasha quarrel with each other. I'm gonna stop the YouTube stream for a bit.